Ready to go. Having a heart murmur here.
At this time, I'd like to call the January 18th, 2024 regular meeting of the Common Council of the City of Placerville to order. It's 5:32 p.m. Please rise and join me in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Carlin, will you please conduct the roll call?
Mayor Rosenquist.
Here.
Councilor Bond.
Here.
Councilor Avery.
Here.
Councilor Gibbs.
Here.
Councilor Talon. Councilor Manette.
Here.
Councilor Moore.
Here.
All councilors have received a copy of the minutes of December 21st, 2023 regular meeting. The City Infrastructure Committee held December 4th, 2023. City Operations Committee held December 11th, 2023. Finance Community Development Committee held December 14th, 2023. The Public Safety Committee held December 18th, 2023. And the organizational meeting held January 4th, 2024. If there are no additions, deletions, or corrections, I'll now entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented. Motion by Councilor Gibbs, second by Councilor Avery. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. I'll now recognize those in the audience who wish to share their thoughts and the concerns with the council on any topic. Please come to the podium to be acknowledged. When called upon, we please do ask that you state your legal name and address for the record. In accordance with the organizational rules of order, all speakers will be given 5 minutes to address council.
Okay. So,
Yes, please.
Can I go first?
And yeah, I mean, you're the only one that's
all right.
You're welcome.
Councilors, Councilor Avery and Councilor Net, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
We're here at the last meeting. And I'm here again to talk about our hotel. And some business owners are supposed to come down, but they're working, and they told me they're gonna try. Steve Brody was gonna make it, but he's getting his teeth. So he said, Joe, I'm not gonna be able to make it, I'm paid. But it's about our hotel and the community. And since the last time I had the meeting, Mayor Rabideau put the op-ed in the Press Republican on November 5th and outlined the benefits of it. People are talking. And you made it really clear. So again, to continue with that, I wrote Gary Douglas. So I'm going to hand everyone a packet, my email, and I'm going to show you Gary's reply to me pertaining to the hotel. My wife is Gail, that's her, but I'm the one that sent her her email. And Councilor Moore, I'm sorry, I thought you were the counselor for downtown, but it's Councilor Ball.
No.
No? It is this Moore? Okay, good. Very good. So forgive me for reading to you, but I'm going to do the first 2 lines. This packet, in the back you have the updated, I already gave you this a month ago on Mayor Rabideau's what does the city mean for the hotel, and then his op-ed is in the back. So when the meeting's over and when you guys get together, you can go over these notes, but I'm going to start with my communication with Mr. Douglas. Mr. Douglas, this communication pertains to the City of Plattsburgh's Harborside Waterfront Master Plan. As you know, the hotel was approved on the west side of the water treatment plant on the property near Downton Green Street. The parking lot and streetlights were constructed, but the hotel building was never developed. Myself and many downtown business owners and city residents want the hotel to be completed. As Mayor Clyde Rabideau so eloquently laid out in the Press Republican op-ed section November 5th, 2023, stating downtown has achieved critical mass of retail, dining, entertainment, adjacent to a gorgeous lake. A hotel developer has come to us ready to sink down $35 million to build a fine hotel on a piece of property few would otherwise want. One would think the city and common council would jump for joy as a hotel anchored for our promising downtown on land next to a water waste plant. It's a godsend. Myself and many downtown business owners and citizens of the city of Plattsburgh agree with Mayor Rabideau and want the hotel built on the property near Downton Green. They have voiced their opinions to the common council meetings throughout the year of 2023 to put the hotel back on the table to talk about it with no avail. What is your opinion, Mr. Douglas? And I put the environmental inspection. So his reply to me, and he addressed it to my wife, but it was mine. I can only state that the chamber lured Skyward to the table. We brought them here. As part of the DRI several years ago, consultants were trained to invite hotel proposals for the site. We assisted in the outreach, and no one actually submitted, though Skyward came forward to obtain information. A year or two later, Skyward, who looked at the original opportunity, decided that it was potentially able to consider the opportunity. So the city, in fairness, reissued the FRP, the RFP, and Skyward was the sole interested party, engaging in discussions that led to a tentative deal. While we do not actively promote individual businesses, projects such as this, we have encouraged the 3 city council members who were opposed to meet with the developers and engage in constructive dialogue aimed at finding a way forward. Should the city ultimately agree to move forward, we then assist the developers in elements of the project, including possible state support. I hope this bit of background is helpful. So again, Mr. Douglas lured them here, hoping the council would talk to him, but this ridiculous 80% vote to put it on the table, he's encouraged council members to do it, and they're not doing it. They even bring it to the table. So attached to this is Clyde Avenue's packet, and this is being distributed to every business owner downtown and every city resident. And you're going to be getting emails, bottom line. You know, the guy wants to develop it, excuse me, and now what's going to happen is, Clinton Community, they're going to turn that into a hotel. Because Clinton's part of the SUNY thing, they're going to turn that into a hotel, and we're going to lose a valuable opportunity. You got a developer that wants to put his money in it. He saw the master plan. All right, that's it. Good. So he's talked about it, and don't ignore one of the most powerful men in New York. Gary Douglas. We lured them here. We've encouraged the 3 councilors that don't believe in it to discuss it. And you won't even bring it to the table to talk about it. It's ridiculous. You're hurting our city.
Thank you. Anybody else would like to speak to the council on any side?
You'll be getting emails.
Joe,
Just
thank you.
one. Thank you.
Joe, thank you. There are no correspondence or recommendations from any special committees. I'll now report on the payrolls of the various city departments approved by council. That payrolls for the various departments of the city of Plattsburgh for the week ending December 27, 2023, in the amount of $597,071.70, and January 10, 2024, in the amount of $674,817.69. Excuse me. I'll also report on the claims audited, the bills audited by the Common Council for the weeks ending December 29th, 2023, in the amount of $1,832,190.15. January 5th, 2024, in the amount of $2,011,585.08, and January 12th, 2024, in the amount of $1,104,944.88, and January 19, 2024, in the amount of $862,793.54. We'll now move on to reviewing and considering items for approval. Ms. Carlin, will you please read the titles of the resolutions to be acted on?
Item 7.1, election of cyber liability insurance coverage proposal.
Motion. Councilor Gates, second by Councilor Bond, discussion.
Yeah, is this new for us?
This is not new for us. This is cyber liability that we done. This is our second year. We needed this, obviously, as an add-on. This was approved last year. This is a continuation of last year.
I read through it, it's pretty long reading, but it's pretty interesting.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Bond?
Yes.
Counselor Avery?
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs?
Yes.
Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Counselor Manette?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.2, authorized budget adjustments, cyber liability insurance coverage.
Motion. Councilor Bond, second. Councilor Avery, discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Bond?
Yes.
Counselor Avery?
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs?
Yes.
Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Counselor Manette?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.3, award of plumbing construction phase for the City Hall roof replacement project.
Motion. Motion by Counselor Town, second. Counselor Bond, discussion.
I have just one question that has to do with all of these projects. It's not germane to do one of them, or any of the three.
All related, so are all related to the roof project.
Yes.
Well, no, I'm wondering about the stairs. Is this gonna be treated separately from this? I mean, I know we had approved doing the stairs, the roof,
And the roof,
et cetera.
Yep.
Is there a reason why that's not at this time?
Separate expertise, the stairs are currently under design.
So it'll be a different.
Correct.
Okay, that's all, those are the questions.
Yep.
Sure.
And yeah, different contractor, different bid package holding.
I had some questions in 7, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's kind of tied to all of them. Because I see that, excuse me, we are awarding, the construction phase for these various, award of plumbing, award of electrical, and so on. What's the funding source for these projects?
Capital project.
It's going to be a capital project?
The number is H5 11085, or what we would say is capital 85 project number 2022. There's $2,031,000 appropriated for it.
And so that'll be a bond, or bond anticipation.
Yeah, in fact, we've already borrowed that money in this vein to cover this.
So it's already borrowed,
Yes.
and it's part of that 19 million ban?
Yes, it is. It's $1,989,090 of money borrowed towards this project. We put it on that list this past year because we thought we would be doing the work this year. So the cash is on it.
Is the city going to be pursuing any grants for this work? For any of this work? This or steps or any of it?
Yeah, we already have. We were awarded $500,000 towards towards the entire packet of projects.
500,000 for the roof?
The roof and stairs project. I think it's gonna be applied to the stairs though.
Have we received that grant yet?
We've been awarded the grant. So there's a process of award and then the paperwork, receive it.
What's the grant for the 500,000?
Who's the grantor?
Historic preservation, EPF, Historic Preservation Program.
And that was part of the CFA process, right?
Thank you.
What does that mean, part of the CFA?
Oh, so every year we go through a consolidated funding application through the North Country Regional Economic Development Council. It's essentially, we put together a package of projects, submit it through this consolidated funding application, and then those projects go through a scoring matrix through what's called the Red Sea Regional Economic Development Council. Goes through the Red Sea, and those recommended projects are shifted onto the appropriate funding agencies. With a particular score, then the funding agencies make the determination. This was one of those projects, and then we got a number of other projects as well.
Who's the grant secured by? Would you know that? Was that part of the Judas?
Yeah, they would have written the
They
grant.
written the grant.
7.3, any further discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Vaughn?
Yes.
Counselor Avery?
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs?
Yes.
Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Counselor Manette?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Yes,
Carried.
Item 7.4, award of electrical construction phase for the City Hall roof replacement project.
Motion. Counselor Gibbs, second. Counselor Avery. Discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Vaughn?
Yes.
Counselor Avery?
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs? Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Counselor Manette?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.5, award of mechanical construction phase for the City Hall roof replacement project.
Motion. Counselor Gibbs, second. Counselor Manette, discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Vaughn?
Yes.
Counselor Avery?
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs?
Yes.
Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Counselor Manette?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.6, award of construction phase for the City Hall roof replacement project.
Motion. Counselor Gibbs, second by Counselor Vaughn, discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Bond?
Yes.
Counselor Avery?
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs?
Yes.
Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Counselor Manette?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.7, approval of 2024 road closures for City of Plattsburgh events.
Motion by Counselor Talon, second. Counselor Avery, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried.
Item 7.8, approval of 2024 beer gardens for the City of Plattsburgh events.
Motion by Counselor Talon. Second. Second by Counselor Manette, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried.
Item 7.9, approving contract extension, contract 2023-01, 15% sodium hypochlorite for WRRF and WFP.
Motion. Counselor Talon, second. Counselor Bond, discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Bond?
Yes.
Counselor Avery?
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs?
Yes.
Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Counselor Manette?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.10, approving contract extension, contract number 2023-02, Liquid Alum for the City of Plattsburgh.
Motion. Motion by Counselor Bond, second by Counselor Talon, discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Bond?
Yes.
Counselor Avery?
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs?
Yes.
Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Counselor Manette?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.11, establishing capital project page 5110.99, 2024 street resurfacing.
Motion. Motion by Counselor Gibbs, second. Counselor Moore, discussion.
I had some questions about the funding, some of it from CHIPS and some of it from touring routes. What's the split between the two funds?
It's wherever we want to take it. So to be quite honest with you, the only thing that's limited is the actual acronym CHIPS money. That actual CHIPS money can be used towards road building equipment along with road building projects. You can't use touring routes to buy a paving machine or a sweeper truck, which that's on the next line item here for capital equipment. So touring routes can be used as long as we're using it towards the construction of a road, whether it's road resurfacing, whether it's a Margaret Street job for curbs and sidewalks, that's all eligible.
So, can we expect some reports from the infrastructure division at our next council meeting as part of department reports? Because we got most of the public safety reports and we got some finance, so will we get?
What kind of reports, I guess, details on any, because I sent over a bunch of documents, the roof stuff was all mine, I sent over talking points for capital projects, which we didn't go through. I sent over backup information for the other city roof projects we needed to talk about, but we never got to them, so.
I put it on the next agenda.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. So, one thing I was wondering, and maybe this is something you already provided, but for the next council meeting when we get reports, can we get a running total of what our CHIPS or touring routes funds are, and then what the projects are that are coming from that fund, so that every time that we have an approval for something that comes from those funds,
Absolutely.
that I would like that. So, thank you.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Bond?
Yes.
Counselor Avery?
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs?
Yes.
Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Counselor Manette?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.12, establishing capital project H5111.00, 2024 equipment purchase.
Motion. Counselor Gibbs, second. Counselor Manette, discussion.
I have a question about establishing a capital project for equipment purchase. I know it's been done in the past and we do it frequently. How is depreciation of an item like that factored into it, the part of the capital project? Like the funding, if we have the bond and things like that. So for example, if we're going to create a capital project for resurfacing, we anticipate that a road is going to last for a certain amount of time, but a vehicle purchase doesn't necessarily last as long as other things. So I'm just curious about how that works.
When we do, if we do a bond resolution to borrow the money for the vehicle, it's specific as to the type of vehicle or the period of possible usefulness of this. It can be 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, depending on the type of vehicle. In this case, we're not probably gonna borrow these funds because it's only, 2,000 for general fund, 70 for water and sewer.
Oh, that's right.
These come out of operating funds. That's all right. I mean, they're gonna have various slides on these, but we don't actually appreciate these items and count that as part of our expense. We just don't do that because it's not part of our government account.
Thank you,
But the CHIPS money's gonna cover 360,000.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Just had a question, how many backhaul trucks do we have?
We have a straight street sweeper. We have a combo unit, which is a vac, catch basin and sweeping unit, which that's what we're looking to replace. And then we have our regular jet and vac truck, also the big ones around the city.
I knew we had at least two.
Yeah, and like I said, it's time, the backhaul unit is at the end of its life.
And these trucks, and I'm assuming those are pickup truck type?
Yeah, light pickup trucks, 3/4 ton.
Thanks.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Council Vaughn,
Yes.
Council Avery,
Yes.
Council Gibbs,
Yes,
Council Talon,
Yes.
Council Manette,
Yes.
Council Moore.
Yes,
Carried.
Item 7.13, approve 2024 dangerous dog and shelter agreement.
Motion. Counselor Bond, second by Counselor Gibbs, discussion.
This is the same one we had before, right?
Same one that's every year if it's required. Yep. Roll call.
Council Vaughn,
Yes.
Council Avery,
Yes.
Council Gibbs,
yes.
Council Talon.
Yes.
Council Manette.
Yes.
Council Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.14, authorize budget adjustment, move community engagement coordinator salary to community development office.
Motion. Counselor Talon, second. Counselor Moore, discussion.
So this just moves the responsibility of management of that individual to the CDO, is that correct?
Any further discussion?
Oh, one last question, I'm sorry. Have we filled that position?
That position has been interviewed for, we expect to fill in the next couple weeks.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna ask.
It's a pretty critical position, obviously, with events coming up. You know, we got a quiet month this month, but then, you know, as events do ramp up, this person needs to be, engaged pretty quickly. And also, as you probably will remember, this person also manages a social platform. So they're busy. Right, Courtney? Courtney's got two hats on there. They're very big hats. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried.
Item 7.15, authorizing 2024 retainer agreement with Stafford owners the name Keller, Miller, Meyer, and Zedek PLLC.
Motion. Counselor Talon, second. Counselor Manette, discussion.
this isn't, we don't actually pay for this, right? This is, I think we discussed this once before.
This comes out of special counsel budget. So, which is budgeted under the mayor's office. So we have corporation counsel and we have special counsel.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Council Vaughn,
Yes.
Council Avery,
Yes.
Council Gibbs,
Yes,
Council Talon.
Yes.
Council Manette,
Yes.
Council Moore.
Yes,
Carried.
Item 7.16, authorizing the mayor to sign a water cost agreement.
Motion. Counselor Bond, second by Counselor Gibbs, discussion. All in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? Carried.
Item 7.17, authorize renewal of public engagement software contract proposal.
Motion. Counselor Avery, second by Counselor Talon, discussion. Roll call.
Council Vaughn,
Yes.
Council Avery,
Yes.
Council Gibbs,
Yes,
Council Talon. Yes. Council Manette,
Yes.
Council Moore.
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.18, adopt the final draft parks renewal master plan for the city of Plattsburgh.
Motion. Counselor Talon, second. Counselor Manette, discussion.
I have some questions. Last year, we received this report that we're voting on tonight as the master plan. and the cost was 22 million roughly. When the report came to us last year, it was placed in a confidential folder, and then we voted on a plan, and we paid AEDA for a second design, and so between Barton and LaJudas and AEDA, we've spent about $400,000 in design fees. So why are we approving this plan and not the AEDA plan that we've also paid for?
This is to approve sort of the concept of the master plan, and from what I understand, the contract for AEDA to do the design work, that was already approved as that design has started, is that?
We paid Barton and LaJudas before we got this report last year, so it was
Oh, so-
summertime-ish. And so now we're looking at that plan.
So like why pay Barton and Judas and then pay AEDA as well?
Right, and we paid them, we had a resolution vote on it last late summer, fall, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And it actually caused quite a stir in Councilor Bond's ward because part of that plan was putting a dry bathroom into the Park Oval, and we received some email complaints about, why are we going to disrupt a piece of historical property and so forth. So I just don't understand why we are now going to approve this optional plan after we already paid them for the design fee, we paid AEDA for their design fee. I just don't understand why we're doing it this way.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a lot of money. To be really clear, we don't have a lot of money to dedicate to the parks. So we have earmarked $1.6 million in American Rescue money that we haven't spent yet, still sitting in our cash in the general fund. We hoped that we would spend a total of $2.6 million. I don't know. And that other $1 million, as my understanding is probably going to be a bond. So when you subtract the $1.6 million out of the cash total from December 31st, we are left with about $1.3 million in cash. So I don't understand why we're doing it this way and why we're not creating a design based on $1.6 million, and probably the answer is 1.6 isn't going to get us very much. So I just don't understand why we're doing it this way. And
okay.
like I said, we've spent about $400,000 in design fees, and we could have bought playground equipment with that money right now.
Can you clarify specifically, are you looking for clarification on why we did it this order? Like hire Barton and Judas, then hire AEDA?
Paid them
and-
both, and now we're approving this one, and we also approved the last one.
So Barton and Judas were paid to create a more general concept plan that involved like site surveying, public engagement, writing the master plan, which is what is in the folder, and that's high level. And then in order to get us to be able to put projects to work and put shovels into the ground, we brought on AEDA to actually do the more detailed engineering design concept work. So they had to sort of take it from big concept, here's just the plan of like, here's what the public wants to see in all these different parks. We want a basketball court over here, we want a new playground over here, but Barton and Juice never was paid to actually bring that to the level of engineer design work. And so now AEDA has taken that for the projects that we're hoping to implement in this first phase, brought it down to that level so that now we can take those contracts out to bid and have someone bid on them. So that's,
Okay,
does that make sense?
it does make sense.
Okay. Let me know if I can clarify. I can follow up with you with more information.
No, that clarifies it.
Okay.
So
I don't agree with it, but it clarifies it.
Okay.
when you say bid, we're looking to start to get some of this work done?
Yeah.
The actual physical work that is part of that design.
So this whole thing, that we have all these wonderful ideas and stuff, am I wrong? Where's the money coming from to get this stuff done?
Again, part of it is funded through allocations of bonding plus ARPA money. And as Councilor Talon earlier indicated, it's not a full-on, you approve it
Well, I
and then
understand
spend it.
that, absolutely, it's not, I mean,
Yep,
it's
sure.
$20-something thousand
Of course.
dollars with
Yep, and
the,
then
or
so
20
what we,
million.
yeah, sure, so what we do is we take that plan and design and we go out for bid, or we go out to, for grant funding. and for other alternate funds or donations or community crowdsourcing, if you will.
Well, I have a question about these master plans in general. The one that was done on the beach, we had one done maybe 10 years ago. And then we just had another one done. And I'm gonna tell you, it's carbon copy. Like, what are we getting for our money's worth? Like, realistically, like a project like this, we can do maybe 10% of the project. And we end up with a big folio of all these potential things you could do, but realistically, we cannot come anywhere near the scope of what these plans are. I think we need to focus a little more on closer to what we can really do. I mean, it's great to dream, I get that. But, I mean, like you look at Harborside, 12 to $18 million, realistically, we don't have that kind of money. 80 million for the beach project, we don't have that. And like with this, 22 million, and I'm not saying we shouldn't do what we're doing, it's a great idea. But we are kind of getting ahead of ourselves by dreaming this big dream, and realistically, we're somewhere else. How much do we want to spend on the big grand plan that we can only finance a very small piece of?
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways, the way that I view a plan like this is sort of like it's my strategy. It dictates where we can go from here. And so, I think the intention of this is that it certainly was never going to be able to be implemented all in one fell swoop, but that in order to look at our parks and our recreation and our community holistically, we have to have that really high level picture of like, where do we see this park looking in 10 years? And now as a department, it's good for me to have, so I can say, okay, what's the first phase that we need to start working on? How do we coordinate the funding, the grants, the community support, just this first phase? And now once we accomplish that, can we move it into what's the next phase? And so having to not have to go back to planning every single step of the way because we have this higher level plan. I recognize that it's frustrating to have big plans made and then for them to sit on tables too and not get implemented. But they're also valuable tools when we go to funding agencies and state agencies to say, look, we have these shovel-ready projects. We've already conducted the community engagement process for this. People are behind this. We have counselors who agree with this. That's the kind of work that state agencies and funding agencies want to see happen before they even give us money. They want to know that things have been vetted and that we're not just kind of pulling projects out of the air. And so it's that high level thing. And I think there's balance in terms of how much do you spend on the plan versus how much do you.
Well, I guess I questioned some of the quality of it. I saw some things that were really fanciful.
For this plan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And were, like a big fishing pier in a shallow river like we have is ridiculous. I mean, whoever came up with that.
Why is it
Put it in the
ridiculous?
community, so it might have been community members. Yeah.
But part of it is, you look at some, I don't know if it's high in the sky, but you do look at what is the most ideal use of this space, and then you do have to take a step back sometimes and say, you know what, it doesn't make sense to put a fishing pier in here, but if the intention is to get more access to the waterfront, there is a path in between that might look like a walking pier or some walking trails that get us closer to the waterfront. As Courtney said, we don't get money without a plan, period. We cannot have a plan and then try to go ask for money, and it generally is like, well, what are you gonna do with it? And if we can't answer that pretty clearly with some vision and some work that has been put into these kinds of plans, we don't get money at all.
Okay.
And we've seen that. We've seen that with other projects. We've seen that with other grant applications. And then also, mind you, we actually did get some grant funding to create that kind of vision for Sailor Beach. With the intent that, yeah, you create the vision and then you take that vision, then you can continue that momentum of shopping it around and get funding for those types of things.
So just to clarify, we're voting on this, we're just voting on what, that, yeah, okay, it's a plan? That's all we're doing, we're not voting, we're going, oh, yeah, it's a plan.
Yeah, it's like I support that this is the direction that we'd like to see.
That we want to go, and I acknowledge that there's no way in heck we're doing all of that right now.
On an alternate reality, we think that.
Very alternate, yeah.
Yeah, and also just, I think it's critical to keep in mind that this project and many of the projects that have come to this council has been driven by community. So it's been a lot of community that says, yeah, we like this idea, we like this park design, we like this playground, we like this some of it is, we like that access to the waterfront. But then, yeah, you get into the nuts and bolts of it, and you have to take a step back. But this is very community driven. We've engaged people for a month, years to get to this point. And so this is also an acknowledgement of that work as well. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Bond?
Yes.
Counselor Avery?
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs?
No.
Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Counselor Manette?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
No,
Carried.
Item 7.19, authorized travel request, police department.
Motion. Counselor Gay, second. Counselor Avery, discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Bond?
Yes.
Counselor Avery?
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs?
Yes.
Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Counselor Manette?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.20, authorized extension to contract number CB-1061 DEIC 2022 contract.
Motion by Counselor Talon, second by Counselor Gibbs, discussion. Roll call.
Counselor Bond?
Yes.
Counselor Avery?
Yes.
Counselor Gibbs?
Yes.
Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Counselor Manette?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
yes,
Carried.
Item 7.21, mayoral appointments, Plattsburgh Public Library Board of Trustees.
Motion. Counselor Gibbs, second by Counselor Avery, all in favor?
aye,
Any opposed? Carried.
Item 7.22, mayoral appointment, assistant environmental manager.
Motion. Counselor Talon, second. Counselor Manette, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm opposed.
One in the opposition. Carried.
Item 7.23, mayoral appointment, assistant chief wastewater treatment plant operator.
Motion. Counselor Gibbs, second. Counselor Talon, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. At this time, I'd like to introduce local law P1 of 2024, a local law to amend and restate in its entirety, Chapter 47, election districts to the city code of the city of Plattsburgh. We'll also note that a public hearing is set for Thursday, February 1st, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. Is there any new business that come before this council?
Just note for the record that the local law has been handed out to all councilors, to all present.
New business.
Do I just, I want to say thank you to department heads. As many of you know, Councilor Warnett and myself have done tours with you all. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it and very informative. I want to say that to the public. Second, with the new law, I'd like to propose that we have a work session in the future, proposing January 24th, to discuss this in a more detailed way than February 1st.
So, 20th, Wednesday,
I'm open, I'm just on a date, so we don't sit here and talk about stuff.
5 o'clock?
What's the scope of the work session?
To discuss the new local law that was just proposed and to review it and talk about as council
Before February 1st.
before February 1st, correct? So we're not waiting for February 1st to have a full conversation.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I guess we'd have to keep it in a somewhat limited scope, but to understand it and to hear an explanation as to how it was created could be appropriate.
Right, that's my understanding, so we can hear where is this coming from, and we can discuss this counselor and.
And then comes the memo.
Yeah, I would also note that a comprehensive memo has been provided with this local law, so it would be recommended that you please read that, review it. If there are further questions, then I don't see an issue. Certainly never an issue having a meeting. But this also would answer a significant amount of questions, right?
So are you proposing a particular time?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock Wednesday,
next
January
Wednesday.
24th, here in the council chambers? If I can attend, so, yes,
I can be here.
I'm personally not here in Albany that day. But hopefully, a lot of the questions can be answered through the memo. I don't know if it's availability, but I could also try to make well, I went to a pre-legal meeting, that's why I was trying to understand the story. So.
well, it'd be nice for us to be able to discuss it, because open meetings law forbids any more than 3 of us to assemble. So we could assemble as council just to talk about this local law, and then, not have to worry about breaking the open meetings law. Right. So,
New business?
one question I would like answered about the local law, and maybe it's in your memo, I don't know, because I think you shared this by email with us, Mayor, does this, was I correct in understanding your email that we need this approved by February 1st? Alicia, is that correct?
It needs to be approved by the 15th of February.
It needs to be approved by the 15th of February.
Yes.
However,
That's
there
the
are some
draft.
publication requirements because this local law is subject to a permissive referendum. So we have an absolute drop dead date in New York State by April 1st. And this has a 45-day permissive referendum period. So if we wait to the 15th, that actually might put us beyond the necessary period because Sylvia has to notice the referendum,
So we really have to vote.
So I would strongly suggest any action be taken on the first.
The first, okay, thank you.
I have one thing, I really don't think it warrants an executive session, but I would really appreciate like an update on,
No,
Sorry,
no, it's just for us.
I mean, you might be, don't you think you should be here during the work session?
I'm saying I'm in Albany on the 24th.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm just saying, asking if they weren't proposed a different date. Sorry.
I know. I'm happy with the date, but that's, yeah, okay.
That will not be in attendance, no matter time.
So Beth, will you advertise that for us then?
I don't know, I just didn't, that was supposed to.
Dean?
And then,
So we're
I won't be
calling,
here, so
so
we
I mean,
can't
on the charter, the mayor can call a special meeting or the three members of the council can call a special meeting. So you have to have a call a special meeting and I get to a roll call vote on it. And then if that case is adopted, then yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can just call a special meeting, I don't have a problem with that, I'm just not gonna be here.
we'll advertise it and it will be live streamed or not, because I'm sorry, the people
No,
don't know.
I guess it won't.
I'm just telling the public.
Okay.
Alicia?
Am I available?
Yes.
I have a prior engagement later that evening that I have to get to at 7 o'clock. And I have a 45 minute drive. So depending on how long that session is, I will make myself available as fast as possible.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, having counselors in a room talking about something they might not know about, or need a question answered.
Absolutely. And going back to your point, the memo that I created is as detailed as possible and was created to the effect of trying to answer all questions in the background of why this law is being brought forward and the timing of it and the importance of passing it as soon as possible. So, and I'm open to any questions in between, not opposed to you wanting to have a session either.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilman, I'm sorry.
I don't think it warrants an executive session at this point, but I would like an update to be sent to all the counselors on the DRI litigation that was going on. I don't think there's enough to talk about to
So I
your
can
session, but
touch on it very briefly. We're still waiting for the Court of Appeals to give us confirmation of the jurisdiction. And they're, assuming they have retained jurisdiction, they're proposed schedule. So
like, is that gonna be the same as the other one was, that you could get it on the appeals court? But no, that's,
well, I don't know what your question is. The same.
I know I could see when the ruling, when we had our,
Okay, so no, this would be direct correspondence from that.
okay, so that's, we can't follow it. Okay.
Any other new business? Take a motion to adjourn. Counselor Gates, second by Counselor Vaughn, all in favor? You're adjourned.